What is the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life that you can't explain?
When I was a child, both my parents went to work early, so they would drop me off at my grandmother's to eat breakfast and go to school from there. My grandmother died my junior year in high school and I started coming straight home from school. During this time, my mother started complaining that when she got home from work, the old phone next to her bed was left off the base. I wasn't using the phone. But she would insist I must have because the phone was hung up properly when she left for work. One day, I got home a little early, and as soon as I walked in the door, I clearly heard the footsteps in my parents' bedroom. I dropped my school bag and foolishly ran to the bedroom. It wasn't far and took only a few seconds. I got to the bedroom and no one was there. However, I immediately noticed that the receiver of the phone on my mother's bedside table was on the floor. It was placed so that the cord to the base was stretched out as far as it could go. I later tried to replicate the placement, but I could never get the receiver off the base. The only way I could replicate the placement of the receiver where I found it was to carefully stretch the cord, place it, and hold it for a few moments. It could not have gotten to that spot by accident. When I found the phone, I hung it up and it immediately rang. I answered it, and it was my dad. He asked what was wrong. I asked him why he asked. He said he had called, apparently just before I got home, and someone answered the phone, but never said anything. He finally hung up and had been trying to call back and only got through after I hung up the phone. I've never figured out what happened. I definitely heard footsteps and I'm just as certain there was no one there. No one went by me. There was no other door, the windows were old-fashioned mirror windows with screens, and we were on the 3rd floor. The windows in the bedroom were not disturbed, and my parents had too much stuff under the bed and in the closet for anyone bigger than an infant to hide in either spot. My mother never found the phone disturbed again.